Hamlet. Is he mad or is he not? Well, let's look at the beginning of the show. We see at the very beginning that Hamlet is seemingly graduating from Wittenborough University. However, as the camera flashes, we move on to the next scene, which is, unfortunately, his father's death. However, that scene at Wittenborough proves one very, very good thing. It shows that Hamlet is likely incredibly intelligent. Maybe if not emotionally, definitely logically. Now, while analyzing all of this, you have to think, is he smart enough to make up a lie? And I truly believe he is. I believe that for the entirety of the show of Hamlet, Hamlet is faking his madness. I think that there are scenes where he has intense dramatic outbursts, like, to be or not to be, that is the question. I, you know, that really obscure monologue that no one's ever heard of. However, there are scenes where some true madness might show. For example, in I believe it's Act 3 at the very beginning, when the players and they're introduced, you can see Hamlet while he's watching one of the players deliver a monologue kind of zone out and just mouth along to the words, either looking like he has just had some flash of inspiration or as if he is truly mad. Now, I believe that was a flash of inspiration as later on, after they're done, he goes to the players and goes, hey, hey, hook me up with a solid. Can you kind of change this one scene in the play so that way I can find out if my uncle's my dad's killer? Yeah? Cool. Now, as we see, that takes a stroke of genius on his part. And here's the thing. There are things such as mad geniuses. However, I don't think this genius was mad. We see when he discovers of Ophelia's death and sees Laertes. Hamlet is genuinely shaken up. He drops the madness act that he had when he killed Polonius, and he just, in an act of sadness, just screams at Laertes, screams at Gertrude, screams at the king, and it's almost broken. He says how much he truly did love Ophelia, how he wanted to marry her, but that this damned act wouldn't let him. Then we see when him and Laertes fight, Hamlet begs Laertes not to judge him for his actions, as it was not Hamlet who did those actions. It was the madness. A madness that he made up in his own mind, but at the end of the show, he truly believed in. So that madness that he was faking became the madness that was really inside. So yes, I think not Hamilton, Hamlet truly is a liar throughout the show. But I also do think he was mad. But also, like Hamlet, I'm a liar. You think I'm wearing a nice suit? Wrong. I got pajama pants on. Bang. Alright, next. I just realized I also should likely add that the madness of Hamlet doesn't necessarily come from the words, but the way that the actor portrays him. So I think that you could very likely have hundreds of different Hamlets, and each one could either be mad or just a liar. I think the actor for this show, who I also researched by the way, he is incredible. Played him off to be sane, but with like some sort of mental instability, but not the full madness that he claimed. Anyways, I thought I should make that clarification. Now for the setting of the play, Africa. I thought that that was just an incredible choice. I mean, from all the costumes, the way the set is designed to, all the paints that are used, the tribal music, it really does feel like this show was made for an African setting in its own way. I think the director and all of the actors and the costumers and the set design and all of those people that went into this show really understood how to add perfect ambiance and make a Shakespearean show their own. And I just think that that is such an incredible thing to do because honestly, you know, I like Hamlet. I'm not going to be ashamed of saying that. Sorry, Scott. I know that you hate Shakespeare. All right. You're like Nick Bottom and something rotten. God, I hate Shakespeare. But I really do like Shakespearean shows. And I've just never seen Hamlet captured in a way that is so incredible to me and embraces a different culture but keeps it relevant and still pushes the story along. And I guess that also answers another question of did you like the show? Absolutely. I loved the show from the fact that the big Laertes Hamilton fight, Hamlet, I'm very sorry, it's been a night, but the Laertes Hamlet fight, rather than some big sword duel with wagers, it isn't. It is a legitimate African tribal fight with the two sticks locking them up. It it's incredible. Though I don't understand how like Laertes was poisoned. I think that's just more of a thing where you kind of just have to be like, oh yeah, well I guess that makes sense. Unless you're supposed to be a knife and sword. Oh, and another thing, the thrust stage. I have never seen anything on a thrust stage in my life, unfortunately. However, to see that, you have to be in the moment. There's no way you're not. I think it plays perfectly into getting the introspective look that you want when analyzing a character like Hamlet. Because I think being able to look inside of not only yourself, but Hamlet is something that you should do while watching Hamlet. And I just think that the thrust stage really adds to that vibe. Now, the final thing, the plot synopsis. The Prince of Denmark, Hamlet, has graduated from Wittenberg University. 2 months ago, his father died. Though the causes are unknown, his mother Gertrude married her father's brother. Less than a month after. Hamlet is so distraught at the fact of this, and he despises his uncle. He sees this as some sort of incest. He is enraged by the fact of his uncle's existence and weeps for his father. He hates his mother for marrying so quickly. However, Knight's Guardsmen come in. Horatio, Marcello, Bernardo. They inform Hamlet of a ghost they saw on their previous night watch. A ghost that looked like his father, the king. So they implore Hamlet, please come with us. And Hamlet goes, and the ghost, upon seeing Hamlet, tells him he must kill his uncle as his uncle is his father's killer. His uncle poisoned his father. So Hamlet tells all those men that night that he's going to feign madness. Then, as he's feigning madness and going mad, he scares off his love, Ophelia. Now, we don't know this throughout the show, but he's distraught about this. Now, after scaring her off, he pretty much destroys the castle, defaces paintings, becomes just a general nuisance. That is until when they're thinking of sending him to England. Hamlet goes to his mother's room upon being requested by her, and upon seeing, who would have guessed it, Polonius behind Gertrude's curtain. Now, he doesn't know it's Polonius, but he killing Polonius. Now, Hamlet's mother is like, Hamlet, no! And Hamlet's like, he sucked anyways. Then, after being cast off to England for killing Polonius, pirates raid. Hamlet joins their crew, sails back to Denmark. This time, the only thought in his mind is killing that bastard king. Now Hamlet, making it upon the scene, learns that in grief over her father's death, Ophelia drowned herself. Then, Hamlet must battle with Laertes, as the king has demanded it. Upon their battle, we discover that Laertes and the king both plan on poisoning Hamlet. Laertes with a sword, Hamlet with the king with a cup. Hamlet and Laertes battle, and their battle is violent, it's bloody, it's brutal. And then Gertrude drinks Hamlet's poisoned cup. And as she dies, and after Laertes gets a few cheap hits on Hamlet and Hamlet him, Laertes presses up that it was the king, and that the king is the root of all of their problems. So, Hamlet brutally stabs the king and forces him to drink his own poisoned wine. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind